Hello guys, welcome to another weekly breakdown video. Today I'll be breaking down the first week of April, the data of first week of April. So before starting my weekly analysis, let me show you the callouts, what I've written. The Asian range settings after the daylight savings in USA is on. For the month of March, it remained like 23 to 5 a.m. UK time, which is totally fine. Normally it should be like 12 to 6 a.m. UK time, but at March, when the daylight savings is just on, the market opens at 2:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, but it is still showing 23 to 5 a.m. UK time, and that's normal. It gets fixed by itself after March when April starts. At first, when I came to know about this, I was a bit confused about it, but I figured it out, and it gets fixed by itself, and you should just give it time until March is open. Okay, this is why it is so important to give your stop loss room to breathe. The price can come back and do its thing. Okay, so this I will show you in the week. I have literally it had happened in the week. That's why I've written down the call out. The call out, everything which is whatever is written here is what happened on the week. That is the exact reason why it is written. So at the end of the month, the price probably slows down and consolidates like it has done here. So I have also noticed one thing, just like a monthly candle, right? If a month is to be bullish, in the first weeks it can go down, and in the middle it can go up and be bullish, and at the end of the month it can make its pullback, just like how a weekly profiling or daily profiling works. And yeah, that's what I was speaking about at this point, and that's simple. Let's start our weekly analysis from the weekly time frame. So on the weekly, I've marked this supply. Now in every video it's repetitive, in every video it's same, because the market is still at the same place. To be honest, it has not done anything much, but now volume has kicked in the market. Before, for several weeks there was no volume in the market, but now after the daylight savings is on, and from March 2024, volume started kicking in the market. And also this is the weekly fair value gap. Now going to the next week, my bias is not so clear on GBP USD, but if I will be looking for something, it will be sells, and this will be my draw of liquidity, which is the target, right? So that's my analysis, simple analysis for the weekly. No need to complicate it. People like to complicate their analysis very much, but I don't. And also on the text, I've written the DXY bias for the week was bullish and GU was bearish, because they move opposite, right? And GU bias was so clearly bullish, so I also get leverage from the dollar, analyzing the dollar for my GU bias. As you can see, DXY is so bullish, and this draw of liquidity can be taken on GU. And when DXY is going up, I need to mark the supply zones on the weekly, right? But on the weekly there is no supply zone. In every video I speak about the same thing. Because of this higher high right here, there is no market structure shift, so no strong supply zones. So the supply zones will be marked on the daily. So this was the weekly analysis. Sort of same thing happened on the with DXY and GU. We'll be targeting, bias will be clearly bullish, but we'll be targeting also this fair value gap on the weekly. So now let's go to the daily and show you the daily bias. So going on Monday, this was the fair value gap which was formed late in the week, right? So there's also a fair value gap here, and yeah, this was a very tricky week. As you can see, there is also a small fair value gap here on the daily. So if I go to the daily time frame, I mark this fair value gap on probably on Monday. Monday forms it. On Monday my bias was not clear, because also on Monday the market on Friday the market was closed on DXY. DXY didn't do anything, so I decided to not trade Monday. And also this was an NFP week, as you can see, and on Monday there was no news, and because there was news on New York but not on London, so we could trade that. But because DXY Friday the market was closed, that was the reason I decided not to trade on Monday, and yeah, which played out in my favor. I just didn't trade it Monday. So sometimes waiting for a candle to close helps you a lot. I waited for Monday to close. Now it gave me a clear bias for Tuesday. What's the bias? Bearish, because the price is going down. On Monday, huge sellers came in the market. So obviously, yeah, there is a chance that the market can go rebalance the price here, and also there will be 4-hour fair value gaps right there. But we don't do that here. We like to go with the bias, and the bias at that point was clearly bullish. And now going on DXY, Monday closed as a very bullish candle, so also it makes sense to come down, rebalance the price, and then go up. But also there was a fair value gap to the upside which can get filled clearly, right? And yeah, I was looking for that sort of thing. And also the supply zone has been moved to the upside. So going on Tuesday, I was looking for sells, and if I'm looking for sells, I go to the 4-hourly time frame and I mark the previous week low was taken early on. As you can see right here, there was a H4 fair value gap. This hole was a H4 fair value gap which gets filled throughout the week. That's why it was small, because I was analyzing the markets, yeah. And the previous week low was swept very early, and also the 4-hour has changed character to the downside. 4-hour has broken structure to the downside, sorry, broke structure. So it is showing that huge sellers are coming in the market. So on Monday, I was looking for sells from this fair value gap because of the Asian range. I mark my zones according to Asian range, you guys know by now, and the Asian range closed something like that. And yeah, there was no closer zones as of now right here. And this H1 fair value gap was also this big, but due to it got filled, I have refined it, right? And also on the M15 time frame, I have taken this trade, I believe. Yes, on the M15 there was this supply zone which was not respected at all. This supply zone literally got decimated. And yeah, the previous structural liquidity sweep, Asian high liquidity sweep, inducement, everything we want to see in a trade was here. Inducement, previous structural liquidity sweep, Asian high. Today I caught a trade on the live markets, the first win of my trading this Asian range strategy. As you can see, I caught the move here, and literally the market is going down. What I did was just followed the trend. The higher time frame bias was bearish for me, and on the daily it was bearish. Boom, caught a sell, and what a beautiful sell. The moment I entered, yeah, the market just went down, and I made 6% in this trade because I risked 2%, and it was a 1:3. Actually it was a 1:7 or something, as you can see, but due to I took partials, and also this was my first win, so I become a bit emotional. Next time I'm not gonna do that. If I catch a winning trade, then I'm gonna hold it regardless. So this was a beautiful trade. If you are trading with the trend, and if you catch a move, bro, that's what you wanna do. And yeah, this was the winning trade, so just thought of showing it to you guys. And on Tuesday, again here, a move from this H1 fair value gap, which was also a winner, I believe. Yeah, we didn't got our 1:3, so it was a break-even trade on Tuesday. Tuesday was a break-even trade, Asian high liquidity sweep, previous structural liquidity, inducement. These are the things which makes the trade even stronger. Asian high, for example, according to your bias, and yeah, previous structural liquidity and inducement makes the trade even stronger, as we know. And going on Wednesday and also on Tuesday, yeah, there was news, CPI news whole day on euro. That is when I don't like to trade, because when there is all day news, we don't know what will happen, when something will come up, right? And also there was Joel's job opening. Going on Wednesday, it is an NFP report, non-farm employment change, and also USD news. So there is no London news. So going on Wednesday, what I was thinking, my bias was clearly, weekly bias was clearly bearish. But now Tuesday has closed the bullish candle, and it also makes sense to fill up this fair value gap, right? It also makes sense to go up, fill up this fair value gap right here on Wednesday. So that was what I was thinking. And if I'm looking for buys now from sells, so obviously if I'm changing my bias, I will have to look for some sort of demand zone, some sort of change of character, which was not there. As you can see, the market was trading, the price was trading from that high to till this low, and everything that happens here is either consolidation or bearish. So that was interesting. But if I was looking for something that would be buys from that sort of some sort of demand, but there was also no demand, but I guess I have marked some demand. So this was a weak H1 demand because I've written W, right? So I was looking for a buys from this demand, which is very low probability because the demand is not clear. And the 230 candle, whenever the market opens, we know that there is huge liquidity because at the start of the day buyers kick in the market here. So after that liquidity sweep, this demand mitigation, we can look for a trade, which happened to the T exactly on M15. The DXY correlation in this trade made this trade so much stronger because the DXY correlation in this trade was so clean. The euro, the DXY, everything was aligning with GBP USD. That is when I took the trade on 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time, which is just the start of London session, which happens to be a winner. We got our 1:3, so it was a winner on Wednesday. A win is a win, right? So yeah, on Wednesday it was a win to fill up this fair value gap on the daily, which did got filled up. I believe it didn't. It got filled up a bit, but there's still some sort of demand to fill. But at the end, when the news came in, the NFP report came in on Wednesday, literally it filled up the fair value gap to the T. And after how this Wednesday candle closed on Thursday, obviously I'm looking for buys, and also obviously I'm looking for buys. And if I show you my DXY bias, Monday went up, Tuesday went down, and Wednesday literally went down and fill up this was a fair value gap made on Friday, I guess. Yeah. So going on Thursday, my bias is bullish on GU and bearish on DXY. And if I show you the news on Thursday, there is only unemployment claims news and no GBP news, I believe. Yes, there was no GBP news as of now. So if I'm looking for buys, obviously you know the drill by now. I look for some sort of demand zone. The H4 changed character or not. So the H4 also didn't change. Okay, it changed character. The H4 time frame right here changed character. I don't know why I didn't mark this. These are very important information in the markets, and that is when I marked this H1 fair value gap right here. This was a change of character on the H4. And yeah, on Thursday I believe I didn't took the trade, did I? So let's see. The Asian range closed something like that. If I was looking for buys, there was no demand zone. As you can see, the only zone that I can see is this fair value gap on the H1, which didn't got mitigated. So also I didn't trade it. Thursday I didn't trade it because of how the market was looking. And yeah, that was probably Thursday. And if I show you, look, the small fair value gaps in the market, fair value gaps are gonna get filled sometimes in the future, right? We know that. So this fair value gap was made long back. The market went up and filled up that small fair value gap to the T and then rejected and then gave a wick. A wick means the market went there and then rejected. This is a rejection. Clearly this daily fair value gap got rejected, and now going on Friday, my bias is bearish, which has aligned with the weekly bias being bearish. My weekly bias on GU was bearish, right? So according to how this candle closed, so next week I am anticipating this fair value gap on the daily, which it has formed through Tuesday and Thursday candle. Wednesday's candle filled up, made this fair value gap. So on Friday I will look to fill up this fair value gap, and also Friday it's NFP, so it's low probability day to trade. Because of NFP, there will be lots of inducement, lots of manipulation in the markets because it's high impact news. So if I'm looking for sales, I will have to look for some sort of change of characters on the 4-hourly. The previous week high has been swept, and also this H4 supply I have marked, which didn't get respected. So it is not necessary to always respect the H4 fair value gap, right? So this H4 fair value gap was not respected, but this H4 supply was not respected, but this H4 fair value gap was respected. It got filled this much, and then the move happened to the T. Now going to the hourly time frame, I could clearly spot this supply zone so clean because this was the last low that caused this higher high. Change of character to the downside, which caused this which was caused by this supply zone right here. And also there was fair value gap, so if I was looking for sales, I would look for some sort of this, which didn't happen. And also my DXY bias on Friday was with the weekly bias, aligning with the weekly bias, so it was also interesting. So even on Friday I decided not to trade, because if the market doesn't go to the marked zone that I have marked, then I don't trade. Then I don't trade. Just I don't trade, and that I've learned through trial and error. Whenever I try to force a trade, I lose, and whenever the market goes to my zone that I've marked, that the market has shown me that that is a valid zone, that is when we win. Today I won this trade not because of I changed my strategy or I did something new. I waited for the market to go to my marked supply zone, and then I took the trade in my zone. I didn't force a trade. I waited for it patiently, and then when the market showed me, it gave me confirmation that yeah, it is looking like it is reacting. So that is when I took the trade, and yeah, that was a winner. So I lost 3 trades consecutively in my 100k account, but this trade literally made back all my losses, and now I am at break even again. And if I catch a trade like that again, which I will do obviously, because I will only take high probability trades like that, then trading a profit from challenge, passing a profit from is not hard. Literally not hard. People make it hard by believing in it. So now let me show you the weekly. It has closed like a bullish candle or a indecision candle, you can see. So trading next week will be, backtesting next week will be a bit tricky, but yeah, if you can get out of a phase like this, you can do anything. Genuinely, I've learned a lot through backtesting, which is helping me in my front testing. As you can see, just a quick recap, the Asian range settings, about the Asian range March settings, and this is why it's so important to give your stop loss room to breathe. Yep, always give your stop loss room to breathe 1.5 pips. 1.5 pips. Like if your stop loss is here, yeah, and you want to place your stop loss here, this is the high. From the high which you are trading, give 1.5 pips more room to breathe, because the price likes to come back and scare the early buyers or sellers so that it can make its main move. I've seen that happen a gazillion of times in the market, and I will not fall for that again. And if I'm wrong, I'm totally wrong, but yeah. And also at the end of the month, it likes to consolidate the price, likes to consolidate, like to slow down. So this was the weekly breakdown for you guys, and yeah.